Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my channel again from the beautiful Davao. I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year wherever you are in the world, and if you celebrate New Year's, wish you hopefully, a very successful 2024. Today, I kind of picked a video from my past when I was living in the US, and it was meeting the love of my life. Her name was Andrea, and she was just the most beautiful girl that I ever met. And here goes the story. Actually, I used to get an allowance from my dad, and my dad cut my allowance because I've kind of like overstayed in the U.S. When I say overstayed, I overstayed legally, but I took a little while, to graduate from college because I was just like enjoying it so much. So I'm like, treat yourself and give yourself another year. So after my dad, he cut my allowance, I decided, to get a job. And I got a job for the summer because you cannot work off, the property of your college if you want to be employed. And then, I wrote, to the immigration and, justified for them, that in order for me to finish my college, I had to work, off campus because it's more money. So I was thinking, what job to get where in my job, at the college was taking care of the college ground. It was really beautiful estate, big college ground, and I would take care of it, mowing the grass, cutting the trees, blah blah blah, etc. etc. Moving furniture, painting. I mean, I've done it all. So I decided I was like thinking, what's the smartest? I'm a bachelor. Uh, I didn't have the time to cook, so I'm like, hey, why don't I get a job at a restaurant, after I got my approval to work off campus. So I went to the Sheraton Hotel, and this is in York, Pennsylvania. I think it was near the York Mall, maybe. And I came in, and there was the most beautiful hostess. She was just like almost gonna turn 18. I didn't know that then, but the story will come. So, anyways, I'm like, hello, I'm here, to apply for a job and at the Sheraton restaurant. And she's like, sure. And I kind of like felt something, for her, and she was dressed, oh, so beautifully, the mini skirt, beautiful, just an amazing, good-looking girl, like a model, kind of, So she gave me the application. I filled it out and waited for the phone call, and I got the job, and that was great. What I loved about this restaurant, okay, they would always give me, the SHIES job, and they would always have me, I worked as a busboy, and they would always have me, work in the location they called Siberia. And, Siberia is like, very far away, and that was the location where I was working, from the kitchen to Siberia. It was, a really, really long distance. So my worst days were Sundays, because they had like this open seafood buffet or something like that. That was like my worst days. But I wasn't hungry anymore. Anyways, I had a 280Z. It was candy apple red with, the racing seats and the racing steering wheel, and the big bubbly tires in the back and everything, and I was a hit there, and one day I was coming off out from work. It was like maybe after Sunday brunch, and I saw Andrea, and she was sitting down, and she had a mini skirt on and the tallest legs. Oh my God! I was just like, wow, this lady, she's so beautiful. So we got to talking. Hey, how are you? How is everything? What are you doing? She's like, I'm waiting for my mom. And we just started talking. She wanted to, with the money that she was saving, she wanted to get an Audi. And she said that, the Audi, somebody told her that it was like the Olympic symbol for the Olympics or something. And I told her, I don't think so, I mean, as far as my knowledge is concerned. So she's like, my birthday, and I'm like, hey, why don't I ask her out, So I'm like, hey, would you like to go out for your birthday? And she's like, yeah, sure. So I know this restaurant. I've forgotten what its name. It's an Italian restaurant. It's in New York, and it's a church, and that was converted to an Italian restaurant, and they really served amazing, amazing food. So bought the flowers. Her birthday came, her 18th birthday. I was maybe 19 or 18, excuse me, 19 or 20, almost turning 21 maybe. And I took her to the restaurant, gave her the flowers. She was like really, really, loving the date. And I was like super loving the date. And then all of a sudden, these two, white, bald guys, and they're like, this fucking inner, he's, with a effing underage girl, because, guys, this girl was a knockout, and I could just see them, just wanting to take me outside and lynch me or something, or call the police or something, and then finally, I kind of got scared a little bit, and then finally, his friends like, come on, let's get out of here. We don't want to, create a scene, and they left. So we brought the birthday cake. We had our dinner. We brought the birthday cake, and I was like, why don't we go home, to my apartment? Anyways, we went to my apartment. We hit first base. And it was just like a dream come true, to have a girlfriend like that. So we decided, not to say anything, for the staff at the Sheraton, and just like keep it a little bit, cool until we were like 100%, sure that we will make it official. Hey guys, we're going out. So I remember I went to her family's house for Christmas, and one of her brothers was in the Navy, and he was married to a Filipina. She was there at the Christmas dinner. Her mom was so wonderful. We bought a gift for her mom, and as we were buying this gift, we bought like this really beautiful clock for her. And Andrea would just like clench on me like a band-aid, and it's like a majority white town, and they're seeing me with this girl, and most of the oldies, let's say, they're like, what's going on, and it's just like purely out of jealousy, because she was, I guess, so hot or something. So we end up at the dinner, and I meet her father. and her father's like treating me, like, hey, Mohammed, how are you? And I'm like, what's wrong with this guy, man? Why is he talking to me like that? And then when he talks to, his kids and, his ex-wife, he's just coming for Christmas. Why is he talking normal? And then when he talks to me, he's like, talking to me like I'm from the hood, and he's like, oh, Gucci shoes, and I had it. They're even better than Gucci's, they were Italian shoes. There was this gentleman in my hometown, because a lot of people were getting like super, super rich, from land reclamation, in my hometown. And they were like going to Italy, going to here, going to this, going to New York, going to here, and this guy sold some really, really, really good. It pure from Italy. All of his clothing were from Italy. All of his shoes, his suits, his ties, everything, shirts, everything was sold from Italy. He was a Lebanese guy, and he made a lot of money. Anyways, I'm like, no, they're not Gucci's, but hey, they're just shoes and blah blah blah. Anyways, there was one guy, at the dinner. I kind of felt like maybe he's her ex-boyfriend, or he wanted her back, or he wanted it because he walked with us to the car, and I walked ahead a little bit, to open the car after we finished the dinner, because we were going to go to my apartment and finish celebrating our Christmas there. And she was just so beautiful. She just changed my life. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing all the other stuff that you do in college. I don't, want to say it on the YouTube. Okay, so I was like clean, 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 and concentrating on my studies. And I was working super, super, super hard. I had a couple of friends. One of them in particular, his name was Jack. And this Jack, he worked at the Yorktown Hotel restaurant, which was really, a very fancy restaurant. And I worked at the Sheraton. So one day, it like super, super snowed, and my car wasn't insured, and it's a long distance from where I live. I live in Dallastown, and the Sheraton is like on the other side of, town. So I called my boss, and I'm like, hey, look, it's super snowing, and I was a waiter then, I got promoted to a waiter. And it's like super snowing, and she's like, okay, if you don't come today, don't come again. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I lost my job. So I looked for another job, which is close to where I live, and I found the Hill Restaurant, and it was operated by two wonderful couple, and I had and a manager, and that manager, her name was Lori, very wonderful lady. So I started working at the Hill. Andrea's working at the Sheraton, and unbeknownst to me, she because I was introduced her to my friends. They made her, transfer from the Sheraton to the Yorktown Hotel, and I didn't know that. She didn't even communicate with me on that and everything. So I was like super happy. We were having a great time. I was like, head over heels in love. She was head over heels in love. It's just like a feeling, that you just can't, buy with money, or you could just feel it, At least that's what I thought. Now the story gets a little bit better. So now, it's a small world. Jack's girlfriend works at my restaurant, and my girlfriend works at Jack's restaurant. Okay, so one day, I wanted to go out to the depot. I was really good at foosball, this table soccer. I was really good. Maybe I was like number two there. Maybe I was at the depot. I was number two because I was like drinking for free all night, until I get like super super. I'm very young, teenager, and then until I get super smashed, and then I start losing, and then I just go home. So I wanted to go to the depot, so I called my friend Jack, and my friend Jack, oh my God, he was sicker than a dog. He's like, and I'm like, hey, what's wrong, Jack? What's going on? So he's like, I'm really sick. He used to call me Hammer. So he's like, I'm really sick, Hammer. I can't go out with you tonight and everything. So, on the way to the depot, there's like a Chinese restaurant. And this Chinese restaurant, it served like a yum tum soup. I mean, if you were sick, smoke will come out of your nose and your eyes and your ears and, any other holes that you can think of. That's how, awesome the soup was. So I'm like, my buddy's sick, why don't I get him, the yum tum soup and maybe, some fried rice, whatever, chicken fried rice or whatever. So I go there, pick up the yum tum soup, pick up everything. I go, their house is open. Jack's house is open and it's near the depot. So I stop there and go through the kitchen. I have the food in my hands. Get to the living room, and when I got to the living room, I started hearing a familiar voice. Number one, Jack's voice and my girlfriend's voice. So I'm like, what? He doesn't sound sick. So I didn't eavesdrop or anything. I just like knocked the door, and I'm like, hey, I thought you were sick, man. I brought you some yum tum soup, to get better. But I hope, that you drink it and die. And I just left it as it is, took off, went to the depot. Okay, no confrontation, nothing. So I went to the depot, started playing the game, was doing really super well. And one of my friends, his name is Mike, he shows up from Philadelphia. He knows Jack, but he doesn't know the background now of what happened to me. So I'm like, he's like, no, you can't drive. I'm going to drive you home. And then tomorrow morning, because he didn't drink, tomorrow morning, I'll, bring you back to your car. So I'm like, okay. So I didn't tell him what was going on. So I'm like, hey, can you just, on the way, it's only like 2-3 blocks away from the depot, Jack's house. Just stop by at Jack's house. But this time, I approached it from the main street because, Jack's room, the one he's renting in that house, it has, an entrance from the living room and an entrance from outside, okay? So I'm like super wasted, and I knocked the door. I can still, when I approach, I could hear the music and them talking and everything. And as soon as I get there, as soon as he answered the door, I'm like, let me get the upper hand on him. And I just like kick the door as hard as I can, so I can get the upper hand on him. And I just went in and just punched him, and he punched me and punched him. And my friend noticed, the ruckus because, it's late at night, and he came and he broke us up. I was bruised up. He was, he was bruised up. And then, Andrea is like, oh, you fought for me. I'm gonna go with you. I'm like, look, forget about it. I don't want to see your face anymore. And we took off. Anyways, we get to my apartment, and I just like laid down, in the living room on my back, my hand like this, and I just started bawling and bawling and crying. And for, I don't know what it is, it's just like, something accumulative. And my friend, he saw my situation like that, and he started even crying. I kind of like broke his heart. Okay, get up the next day. I'm like, okay, now it's recovery plan. Okay, I'm not gonna tell Lori what happened, because I'm going to work now. I'm gonna see, Jack's girlfriend. Unless, she approaches me, then I will tell her. Anyways, I went to work. Lori saw me. I'm like, hi, how are you? And she's like, what happened to you? I'm like, no, nothing happened to me. So my boss is like, no, you can't report to work, I mean, you've got, green and blue and whatever, you know what I mean? You can't report to work. So that was like 1 week down. Lori shows up to my apartment, and she's like, look, I know what happened. And, Jack broke up with me and everything. And we were coming on like the 4th of July. So she's like, why don't we go to Maryland, in the ocean side. I guess Ocean City, Maryland, or Ocean, Maryland. So I'm like, I don't know, I'll think about it. So make a long story short, me and Lori, we go to, Maryland, okay, and come back to her house, okay, and I've never met her friend. So her friend, this is in the morning now when I woke up, we hooked up. I woke up in the morning. I've never met her friend, okay, and her friend had like a neck brace here. And then when she saw me, man, it was like seeing the devil, this black guy, coming to rob the house. So I'm like, wait, I can explain. She was like, I don't know, get a gun or whatever. Wait, I'm chasing after her. Wait, I can explain. I'm Lori's friend. Anyways, to make a long story short, I reported to work, and me and Lori, we hooked up, and I was like so happy, guys, that I discovered this, because she was telling me, my mom is saying, why buy the cow is when the milk is for free. So I was like so happy that I discovered this, because I was going to commit and I was going to stay in the US, permanently. Okay. But I was like so surprised. Anyways, so I put all of her stuff in the box, take it to her mom. Her mom was like super cool. And her grandmother was there. And her grandmother, you could still, see the Czech accent on her, still, and she's like, oh my God, to the mother, as I was walking off, but I can hear them, I didn't know, Andrea was dating a black man, and I'm like, oh man, it's just like black this, man, I hate this place. Of course, she lives in Glen Rock, and Glen Rock is just like, for me, I mean, other than the Davao, I would love to live in Glen Rock, but it's just like too cold for me. I just can't handle the cold. But it's so beautiful in the summertime. I've never seen a town like that. Beautiful, just a beautiful town. So, anyways, guys, please subscribe to my channel. This is my story, and one thing that I forgot to add, so already now I beat the hell out of Jack. So I went to a party, okay, and they know that I'm coming to this party. So Jack shows up with her, okay. So it was so funny. I was drinking, and she was doing some weird stuff to me, instigating me, okay. So I took the beer cup, poured it on her head, and like smash the plastic paper cup, I guess it was, in her face. Okay, and I told her, "F you, bitch." Okay, so my friend Tanya, she works like for abused women kind of thing, and she was like so upset. Why'd you do that, Hamid? Why'd you do this? I work for abused women, and women are always abused. I'm like, look, man, all these centers, they should be changed to abused men, because some women, you get in a relationship with them and they just like abuse the H out of you, and I told her, look, all of these rehabilitation centers, they should be closed, okay, and change their name into for men, okay, from all the screwed up things that men go through, when they are in a cheating relationship. I mean, no punch, no nothing, but the pain, inside, of the breakup and everything, I mean, really, really difficult to swallow, and thank God, that I have recovered. So, guys, please subscribe to my channel. I will continue the story again, and this time, about how smart Jack was, okay, by sending a spy to have a relationship to have a relationship with me, and then one day, I discovered that she was spying on me, because I cut all contact with my friends, and I was just concentrating on just like graduating and getting the H out of Dodge. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to my channel, guys.